This is the History of Portugal podcast, an Eat to My Own Beat podcast. New episodes every Friday. Check us out on our Facebook page, the History of Portugal podcast, on YouTube, as well as my website, www.eattomyownbeat.com. History of Portugal podcast, episode 113, the Almoravid Dynasty, Textiles and Calligraphy and Manuscript Illumination. The fact that Ibn Tumarq, leader of the Almohad movement, is recorded as having criticized Sultan Ali ibn Yusuf for sitting on a luxurious silken cloak and his grand mosque in Marrakesh indicates the important role of textiles under the Almoravids. Many of the remaining fabrics from the Almoravid period were reused by Christians, with examples in the reliquary of San Isidoro in Leon, a chasuble from Saint Sernin in Toulouse, a chasuble of San Juan de Ortega in the church of Quintanturina near Burgos, the shroud of San Pedro de Osma, and a fragment found of the church of Tir in the eastern Pyrenees. Some of these pieces are characterized by the appearance of Kufic or Hispano-Kufic woven inscriptions, with the letters sometimes ending in ornamental vegetal flourishes. The chasuble of San Juan de Ortega is one such example, made of silk and gold thread and dating to the first half of the 12th century. The shroud of San Pedro de Osma is notable for its inscription stating that this was made in Baghdad, suggesting that it was imported. However, more recent scholarship has suggested that the textile was instead produced locally in the centers such as Almeria, but then it was copied or based on Eastern imports. It's even possible that the inscription was knowingly falsified in order to exaggerate its value of potential sellers. Al-Sakati of Malaga, a 12th century writer and market inspector, wrote that these were regulations designed to prohibit the practice of making such false inscriptions. As a result of the inscriptions, many of these textiles are known in scholarship as the Baghdad group, representing the stylishly coherent and artistically rich group of silken textiles, seemingly dating back to the reign of Ali ibn Yusuf, or the first half of the 12th century. Aside from the inscription, the shroud of San Pedro de Osma is decorated with images of two lions and harpies inside roundels that are ringed by images of small men holding griffins, repeating across the whole fabric. The chasuble from Saint Sernin is likewise decorated from figural images. In the case, a pair of peacocks repeating in the horizontal bands, with vegetal stems separating each other, and a small Kufic inscription running along the bottom. The decorative theme of having a regular grid of roundels containing images of animals and figures, with more abstract motifs filling the space in between, has origins traced as far back as Persian Sasanian textiles in subsequent periods. Starting with the Almohads, these roundels were figurative imagery as progressively replaced with more abstract roundels, with epigraphic decoration becomes more prominent than before. Calligraphy and manuscript illumination. In the early Islamic manuscripts, the Kufic was the main script used for religious text. Western or Maghrebi Kufic evolved from the standard or Eastern Kufic style and was marked by the transformation of the low swooping sections of letters from rectangular forms to long semicircular forms. It is found in the 10th century Qurans before the Almoravid period. Almoravid Kufic is the variety of Maghrebi Kufic script that was used as a display script during the Almoravid period. Eventually, Maghrebi Kufic gave rise to the distinctive cursive script known as Maghrebi, the only cursive script Arabic derived from Kufic, which was fully formed by the earlier 12th century under the Almoravids. The style was commonly used in Qurans and other religious works from this period onward, but it was rarely ever used in architectural inscriptions. One version of the script during the early period of the Andalusi script, which was associated with Al-Andalus. It is usually finer and denser, and while the loops of the letters below the line are semicircular, the extensions of the letters above the line continue to use straight lines that recall its Kufic origins. Another version of the script is rounder and larger, and is more associated with the Maghreb, although it is nonetheless found in Andalusi volumes too. The oldest known illuminated Quran from the Western Islamic world, i.e. the Maghreb or Al-Andalus, dates from 1090, towards the end of the first Taifist period and the beginning of the Almoravid domination in Al-Andalus. It is produced either in Maghreb or Al-Andalus, and is now kept at the Uppsala University Library. Its decoration is still the earliest phases of artistic development, lacking the sophistication of later volumes, but much of the features that were standard in later manuscripts are present. The script is written in the Maghrebi style in black ink, but the directs, vowels, and other orographic signs are in the red or blue. Simple gold and black roundels mark the ends of verses. Headings are written in gold Kufic inside the decorated frames and the background. It also contains a frontispiece, or a relatively simple design, consisting of a grid of lozenges, variously filled with gold vegetal motifs, gold netting, or gold Kufic inscriptions on red and blue backgrounds. More sophisticated illuminations is already evident in the copy of the Sahih, dated to 1120, during the reign of Ali ibn Yusuf, also produced in either the Maghreb or Al-Andalus, with rich frontispiece centered around the large medallion formed by interlacing geometric motif, filled with gold backgrounds and vegetal motifs. A similarly sophisticated Quran, dated to 1143, at the end of the Ali ibn Yusuf reign, is produced in Cordoba. Contains a frontispiece with interlacing geometric motif forming a panel filled with gold and knotted blue roundels at the middle. That is episode 113. If you like these podcasts or find them interesting or of any value to you, please like and subscribe to my channel.
Thank you for listening to the History of Portugal podcast, a Eat to My Own Beat podcast. New episodes every Friday. Get more information on the History of Portugal podcast on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Check out www.eattomyownbeat.com for more information on our travels.